This is gonna be rough. This is gonna be rough, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? We have to grow up. We have to grow up. Trying to adjust the camera. There we go. Oh, God help us. And first and foremost, man, I bless each and every one of you that catch this live stream. May God continue to guide you, keep you, comfort you, aid you in your growth and development, as well as the healing stage of your life. Family, man, we have to grow up emotionally. You know what I mean? Man, I just had a procedure done, a tooth pulled. Man, it had me twisted. What's up with you, Solomon's Temple? Man, I bless each and every one of you, whether you catch it on the live stream or whether you catch it years from now. It is what it is. Man, you got to remember who you are. Garrett Patterson, what's up with you, brother? Glad you were able to make it in. You got to remember who you are. We're going to talk about a lot of things, but man, we're going to stay on point today. This is going to get rough. You know what I mean? Again, this is going to get rough. You know what I mean? Um, I was talking to, on one of the videos, I talked about how I got started on this journey, um, and how, David, what's up with you, brother? How this young lady, this dude that worked for me in the military, I'm nervous. I'm nervous for months. This dude worked for me in the military, in the Air Force, and his um, he wanted me to talk to his sister, and I never talked to her. I never went, made an attempt to call her or anything, because of my insecurities, because of my fears, my low self-esteem. I didn't think I had anything to offer her, and how she committed suicide, and how that shook both of us. You know what I mean? But it devastated me. And I prayed and I cried out to God, man, help me never forget this. I don't ever want to forget this feeling, you know what I mean, of this young lady passing away. And God was dealing with me on that. And he was talking to me. It's like, man, Elijah, you got to get your shit together. Elijah, you got to da 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 da. You know, he's just telling me all this stuff that I needed to do, because me talking to this young lady wasn't about me hooking up with her and bringing her to the States and all that other stuff. This young man wanted me to talk to his sister because he knew I had the ability to say something that could have an impact on her life. And I never wanted to forget that. I never wanted to forget that feeling. And what we have to understand, what God had to show me in that moment was Elijah. Oh God, you're gonna have tower moments. Elijah, you're gonna have times in your life where, man, it's gonna quote unquote go bad. Elijah, you're gonna have moments in your life. You're not gonna understand. And it's gonna seem like your world has been flipped upside down. Elijah, you're gonna have moments in your life where people are going to break your heart. Elijah, you're gonna have moments in your life where people are gonna abandon you and reject you and lie you and you do all kinds of stuff to mess you up. Remember who you are. And what I had to understand, what I had to grow and understand, is like, oh, this is what God means by that. And what was that? Was that, see, we so often we look at those people, especially when we're looking in relationships. We'll look at this young lady or we'll look at this dude or our parents or whatever, and we'll say, man, this person dogged me out, this person messed me up, and this person broke my heart, and da da da, and all this other toxic stuff. And that's real, but we got to remember who we are. And what God had to show me is Elijah. I started this journey as far as being a life coach. I started this journey as far as dealing with my stuff, my pain, my trauma, my abandonment issues, all the crap that I've gone through in life. I started this journey not because I thought it was something cool to do. I started this journey because, man, I had let this lady down. I started this journey because I let my boy down. And I never want to be in that situation again. I never wanted to not reach out and help somebody when I had it within me to be a help to them. Stay with me or going somewhere. This lady passed away. And it's a constant reminder to me of why I started doing what I do. This YouTube platform and the TikTok videos, the same videos, is my way of giving back to humanity. This platform is a way where we could get together, like-minded people can come together and say, hey, wait a minute, I got issues. I got to understand that I got issues. I got to understand that, man, I've gone through some things in life. And because I've gone through some things in life, let me turn around and help other people. I've got to grow up emotionally and change my perspective of life. I've got to grow up emotionally and understand why I'm here. See, the great majority is we have no idea why we're here. The great majority is we have no understanding of what our life purpose is. We've been programmed to think that, man, you're here to worship God. You're here to put Jesus on this pedestal and worship Jesus. You're here to save the world and give everybody Jesus. No, the fuck you're not. You're not here to push some religious agenda. It's going to get deep today. I promise you that. I don't give a damn what religion you push it. That's not your purpose. That's not why God brought you here. We got to remember who we are. And what God had to show me was Elijah. When you go through these broken states, when you go through these states and these situations where you've been crushed, where your heart has been ripped out of you and smashed right in front of you, and that person's laughing at you. That person is saying you ain't shit. You don't fucking matter. Forget about what they're doing, but we get fixated on what they're doing. I'm here to tell you, fuck what they're doing. It ain't about what they're doing. It ain't about what they did. Everything we go through in life that's devastating like that. Again, I lost my mom at the age of 2. I lost the queen in 2015. Everything we go through in life is to help us remember who the fuck we are. Everything that you've gone through in life, everything that has broken you, everything that has confused you, everything was something you can't, everything that's hurt you. Everybody that's turned their back on you, everybody that's broke your heart and did whatever it is that they did to you, everything is to remind you of who you are. See, we don't want to talk about that stuff. We want to stay victims. We want to stay powerless. We want to walk around helpless and hopeless because we've been programmed to be that way. You've got to grow up and understand, man, you got to remember who you are. And for unfortunately for the great majority of us, the only way we could begin the process of remembering who we are, we got to hit rock bottom. We got to have people tell us we ain't shit. We got to have people walk out of our lives. We got to have people break our hearts. We got to have situations blow up in our motherfucking face. And then we got to begin to peel away the layers of the emotions attached to that situation. But that's not what we do because we haven't been taught to do that. And so I look at you as the person who's caused me pain. I look at you as the person who's fucked up my life. And yes, I watch you walk away. And I begin to walk away. But the great majority of us, as we're walking away, we never heal. We just walk away. As you begin to heal, and when you're fully healed from that situation, You're no longer a fucking victim. You're no longer mad. You're no longer angry at the person for whatever it is that they did to you. You look at that person and you begin to remember and understand. Hold on, wait a minute. Time out, time out, time out. This person did me a favor. This person has helped me grow. Because this person abandoned me, rejected me, and broke my heart, cheated on me, and abandoned me, da, da, da. Because this person stole from me, because this person violated me, because this person molested me, because this person raped me, whatever it is that they did, this person is reminding me. They've been a catalyst in my life as a reminder. Oh, wait a minute. Time out, time out, time out, time out. I'm not a fucking victim. Time out, time out, time out. I'm not some weak, sorry ass, jellyback motherfucker walking on this fucking planet. I didn't come here just to suffer. I didn't come here just to be abandoned and rejected and broken and frustrated and cheated on and beat down. I didn't come here for that bullshit. See, the truth be told, I needed that to help push me on my path of growth and development. I needed whatever it was that fucked me up. I needed that as a kicking motherfucking ass to jumpstart my healing, to jumpstart my growth and development. That's why I've gone through all the hell I've gone through. That's why you've gone through all the hell you've gone through. I love you too, Obaz. We've got to grow the fuck up and understand this. And so as you heal, you don't look at that person as a fucking enemy. You don't look at that person as an op. You look at that person as, man, I bless you. I bless you. I thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you. I thank you because you helped show me how strong I am. I thank you because you showed me. You helped me remember how powerful I really am. I thank you because had you not did what you did, I would have never had that tower moment. I would have never had that dark night of the soul moment. I would have never had that emotional breakdown. And because I had that emotional breakdown, after it was all done and over with, after I cried and played all that lovey-dovey music, after I sat there and just tore up all the pictures, after I sat there and just made a fucking record shit, I began to sit and understand, wait a minute, I got to get back up. I got to go on with my life. I don't know where the fuck I'm going. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do, but life still continues. I'm still fucking here. I'm here for a reason. Let me help other people who are going through what I've gone through. Let me help other people who've been abandoned and rejected. Let me help other people who may be going through what I've gone through. Why? To show them that if I can do it, they can do it too. Why? To show them that they're not the only one going through what they're going through. One of my favorite cartoons, not one of my favorite cartoons, is the original Lion King, the first one. And there's a scene after um, Simba runs off and he forgets that he's the king. He's the next heir. You know what I mean? He's next in line to be the leader. He's gone off. He's been ran off by his uncle. He's been ran off by the hyenas. That's us. We've allowed life. We've allowed people to come in and tell us you're not a fucking king. We've allowed people to come in and tell us you ain't shit. We've allowed people to come in and tell us you're not protected, you're not loved, God ain't got you, and da 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 da. We do all this other stupid ignorant that shit. We've allowed people to come in and fill our minds and our heads with all this crazy shit. And out of fear and survival, we ran off in life. And we gave up on our purpose. We gave up on who we are. We're going into that. And so what so many of us do is just like what Seneca said. We compartmentalize everything. We sweep it up under the rug. We put it on the back porch because we don't want to deal with it. We don't want to face the trauma. We don't want to sit there and face and grow through the bullshit. And so, going back to the Lion King, Rafiki, he comes to Simba and he's talking to Simba. He's having this heart-to-heart conversation with Simba. He's talking to Simba about his daddy. Simba, just like us, confused, lost. He's on this land and don't know who the fuck he's connected to. He's on this land. He's living day to day. He ain't even living. He's just surviving like what we do. We forget about the pain, we forget about our purpose, we forget about everything that we're supposed to do, and we get busy and fixated chasing money. We get busy and focused on, man, I gotta get an education. We get busy and focused on, man, who's gonna be my next conqueror and what am I gonna do? And I just want to go love this person, and I just want this person to love me and fuck the world and da 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 da. And we forget about who we are. We do. We give up on our hopes and dreams. And we just want to settle in. We're just being comfortable. Let me share something with you guys. If I could do what I really want to do, if I had it my way, I would live on a ranch somewhere out in the woods. And I would be totally cut off from humanity. I would disconnect from everybody if God left me to me. But what God had to show me was Elijah, you're not going to the woods. You've been there. But that's not why you came. You didn't come here to be completely disconnected from humanity. You didn't come here to be cut off and to be totally isolated from the rest of the world. You came here to be a beacon of hope. You came here to be a beacon of love. You came here to be a beacon of light. How the fuck can you be a beacon of hope? How the fuck can you be a beacon of light? Tucked away in the woods, cut off from everybody else. Elijah, truth is, you want to run to the woods. Yes, you're at peace with the pain and the trauma you've gone through, great majority of it. But you want to run to the woods and be completely cut off because you're tired of being disappointed. You're tired of being let down. You're tired of having your heart broken. And because you're tired of being disappointed, you're tired of being abandoned, you're tired of being rejected, you want to give up on love. You want to give up on your purpose. And so it's easier for you, Elijah, to sit in the woods somewhere where you can sit there and meditate all day and do your Tai Chi and do your Jig Kune and your Kung Fu, and for you just out there and do your yoga poses, and you could go fishing and you go work in your garden. Man, that's so peaceful. That's so great. But that's not why I brought you to this motherfucking planet. You got to grow up. You got to remember who you are. And it's the pain, it's the suffering that helps reminds us of who we are. But in order for the pain and the suffering to remind us of who we are, we got to be willing to face it. We got to be willing to sit there in it. What's up with you, Zaza? You got to be willing to be honest and transparent about where you're at, why you're doing it. Going back to Simba and the Lion King. Simba's running after Rafiki because he's trying to remember who he is. He wants to go see his daddy. And so in the cartoon, Simba's running through his woods. The forest is dark. He's getting caught up in the vines. He's tripping over different things and he's been hit by different things. And that's us. In the process of remembering who we are, we're going to suffer. In the process of remembering who we are, we got to go through the darkness. In the process of remembering who you are, you got to go through and face your fears. What's up with you, Rachel? You got to remember who you are. You got to remember why you're here. I see the trick is, God help me, share a story about when I came to New York and got married to this young lady out here. And after a year, not even a year, she did something that just fucked me up. And it was devastating. It was heartbreaking. It was crushing. I had my own kids calling me, man, Dad, I can't believe you did this, da 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 da. And they didn't even know the story. They don't even know what transpired. They were just going off of what they heard, which was bullshit. And I sat there and the tears ran down my eyes. How my kids are telling me that I'm embarrassing them. They're grown, living their own life. But because of the story that they heard, They were embarrassed. They were ashamed because they believed the bullshit. So I sat there with the tears running down my eyes. It's like, God, why do I even fucking try? God, why do we try? I'm tired of trying. I'm tired of being me. I'm tired of being this beacon of love. I'm tired of being this man of God. I've said this before. When it didn't seem like I gave a damn about women's feelings and their emotions and all that, man, life seemed to be so great. When I didn't give a fuck about women, I didn't have so much pain and trauma. I did, but I wasn't really paying attention to it. And so I put my blame on women. I blame women for the bullshit that I was going through because so many women brought me so much fucking pain. And so I'm looking at this young lady and I'm shaking my head and I'm crying, thinking about my younger sister and how she played her role in this. And I'm crying like, fuck, I'm sick of this toxic ass fucking family. I'm sick of these crazy ass motherfuckers that I would have died. And they're dogging me the fuck out. I don't understand how my own sister could be so fucking toxic. I don't understand how my own sister, who have the same mother and daddy I do, how my own sister can lie on me and connive and do all this stupid ass shit. I don't even understand how my kid's mother could take this stupid shit that she heard and go tell her kids, our kids, as if to say, look, told you your daddy wasn't shit. Look, I told you your daddy wasn't going nowhere. And after God dealt with me on it made sense why my kid's mom did what she did because she abandoned the relationship to get back with her ex-boyfriend. And so now she's looking for any reason to justify her actions for leaving. Remember who you are. It's not about the other people. It's not about what they do to you. It's not about what they've done to you. I sit back now and I'll go back down memory lane and I'll reflect on, man, 23, man, that's when this young lady did whoop whoop whoop, and she said da 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 da, and my kids da da da, my kids' mother da da da, and my sister da da, and I'll sit back and I'll just replay it all, and it'll bring a smile to my face as I sit here, and it's like, okay, God, thank you. I'm glad that I didn't just survive. I'm glad that I was able to walk out of those fucking woods. I'm glad that I was able to get back up from that tower moment. I'm glad that here I am in New York City, not knowing anybody, only came here for this young lady. And man, but look at me now. Look at me now. You would never know that I went through the bullshit that I went through. You would never know that I was homeless, sleeping on a fucking train. You would never know that I was in jail fighting for my freedom, fighting for my reputation, fighting for my job. And now I sit here in my own place with peace that passes all understanding. I now sit here with the joy that can't be explained. I sit here and I'm grateful. And I look back, man, I wasn't just fighting for my job. Look at the opportunities that I've had. Look at how much I've done. Look at how much I've been promoted since then. Look at the different places all over the world that I've traveled to since then. What I remember was who the fuck I'm not some guy with just a broken heart. I'm not some guy who's trying to defend his reputation with all this stupid shit. That's their bullshit. I'm going to stay true to me. I'm going to stay true to my purpose. I'm going to keep walking this path. And it don't matter who like it. It don't matter who says something about it. And if the truth be told, family, when you begin to awaken and you begin to walk your path, all those people around you that you are closest to, they're going to look at you different. They're going to say you're tripping. They're going to say you're wilding out. They're going to say all kind of crazy stuff about you. They're going to talk about how you've changed, but they're going to make it how you changed, and it's not for the best. They're going to talk about, man, you was cool back when you did that. And you was cool when we used to do that. We used to go to the club. We used to get drunk. And we used to get lit and party and chase all these hoes. And that. They're going to like that part of you. But this part of who you are is walking in your purpose, walking in your authority, walking in the power that you have. You're not caught up on the stupid shit. You're not a victim anymore. You're not blaming anybody else for anything anymore. They can't relate to that part of you. They can't handle that strong part of you. And so you can have some of those people that walk away. You're gonna have some of those people that, man, you're tripping and you wigging out and you, man, it's like you on dope now. It's like, man, what the fuck you talking about? And it's like you don't even make sense no more. And you're not supposed to make sense to them because you put in emotional, spiritual work that they haven't, and so they can't understand. They don't understand. And I tell people, man, the greatest thing that I possess is my peace. It's my peace. That's the greatest thing that I possess. That's the most valuable thing to me. It's my peace, my joy. I love my job, but I value my peace far more. Man, me and my kids' relationships have been mended, but I value my peace. I value my peace. And I'm sharing this with you because you're going to have to get comfortable in your own skin. And when I'm talking about your own skin, you're going to have to get comfortable being you. It don't matter what you look like. It don't matter what your shell of your skin is. It don't matter how tall you are, whether you're good looking or whether you're not good looking. It don't matter how much hair you have, how little hair you have. It don't matter how much you weigh or how little you weigh. None of that shit fucking matters. Are you comfortable being you? Do you like being you? Are you in love with you? Remember who you are. Remember who you are. And see, here's the trick. When you remember who you are, God, universe, source brought back to my remember. Say, Elijah, 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 Elijah. You're trying to understand why these people did all this stuff to you. Elijah, you're trying to understand and make sense of why these women broke your heart. Elijah, you're trying to make sense of why these people betrayed your trust. Elijah, you're trying to make sense of why things are chaotic. But what you need to remember, what you need to understand, is that prior to you getting here, prior to you coming down to earth, prior to you being born, you had a contract with every single one of these people. See, I know we don't like talking about that because we're so stuck in our religious beliefs. We don't want to think like that. We want to just blame the fucking devil. We want to say those people did it because they got the fucking devil in them, because they work for the enemy and all this other stupid ass bullshit. And do what the fuck you do. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. I'm here to show you how I came into my peace. I'm here showing you how I came into the joy that I have that can't be bought, that can't be taken. And so I'm glad you asked that question, so Miss Temple, because that's where I'm going. I had a contract with every one of these people. Why? Because I came down here to be a beacon of light. I came down here to be a beacon of love. And every one of these people, including my daddy, the guys that molested me when I was 6 years old, everybody, I had a contract with every one of them. And that contract was while they were in soul being, and I was in soul being. I told them, man, I need to go back and I need to learn this and learn this. I need to understand this and I need to do that. Their part of the contract was, man, I love you so much. I'll go back and I'll help you remember who you are. I'll help you remember da 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 da. I'll help you go through da da da. I'll help you learn this life lesson. I'll help you learn da da da. But we want to look at these people as ops. We want to look at these people as mortal enemies. And the truth is, they're here to help you. They're here to help you remember who you are. And part of that helping you remember is they got to be willing to, man, because they love you so much. One of the hardest lessons I've been learning about my daddy. And again, I've shared with you a number of times. My daddy murdered my mother right in front of me when I was 2 years old. My daddy was physically and verbally abusive towards me. And I hated my dad. I hated him to the point where I told him if he ever brought his bitch ass back to California again, I had a bullet with his name written on it. I told my father I was going to take his fucking ass out the fucking game. I hated him. I wanted him to fucking suffer like how he made my mama suffer. I wanted him to suffer like how he made me suffer. He was in Michigan at the time. I said, "You big and bad. I know you've gone to the pen and you survived the pen in Cali and you've done woo doo doo. Bring your motherfucking ass back to California if you want to. Bring your ass back to fucking California if you that fucking big and bad. I promise you. On my mama, I promise you. I'm gonna end your motherfucking life." That's what I told my father. My dad had to show me, Elijah, you are who you are. Elijah, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, because you're full of rage. Elijah, come here, come here, come here, come here, because you're full of anger. Elijah, come here, come here, come here, because you're full of unforgiveness. Elijah, come here, come here. You have a lot of ignorance. You don't understand what's taking place. And I'm trying to tell God about my raggedy ass, sorry ass, deadbeat fucking father. Fuck my issues. I'm about to expose everything about my fucking daddy. I'm about to kill this motherfucker if he ever bring his motherfucking ass back to Cal. So I'm having a short hard conversation with God about my daddy. And God says some shit that fucked me up. God says some shit that completely just transformed my fucking life. And what God had to share with me was, Elijah, I never asked you about your daddy. I don't give a fuck what your opinion is about your daddy. Because I need you to understand some shit. Elijah, see, a lot of us, we don't want to talk about karma. We want to talk about karma only when it applies to everybody else. We want to talk about karma only when it applies to people that hurt us. We want to talk about karma only when it applies to people that the dog does the fuck out. But we don't want to talk about karma when it comes to shit we've done. It's part of remember who you are. And so God is talking to me. He said, Elijah, your daddy loved you so much that he was willing to go back and be your enemy. Your daddy loved you so much. He was willing to go back to be that person that caused you all the fucking pain and misery that you needed to experience. Your daddy chose to go back and play that role. He fulfilled his contract with you. But because you didn't remember, you're now pissed at him for everything he's done. You're playing a fucking victim. You're walking around like you're fucking powerless. You don't remember who the fuck you are. You don't remember that you had this contract with your daddy. You don't remember you and your daddy having this soul tie, this soul contract. Going back to karma. Because you've done stuff in past lives. You're gonna have to learn all that shit. You're gonna have to learn about all the pain and suffering you've caused. See, but we don't want to talk about the pain and suffering we caused other people. We want to walk around act like we're fucking righteous. We want to walk around act like we're fucking perfect. We want to walk around act like we ain't never did shit wrong. And so God had to remind me, Elijah, in previous lives, you killed somebody's mother. In previous lives, Elijah, you were verbally and physically abusive to your son. In previous lives, Elijah, you molested somebody. And now, in this life, you got to answer for all of that. Not answer as in I'm judging you. Answering meaning you got to learn what that fucking felt like. You got to remember. You not remember. You got to understand the pain and that agony that you inflicted on other people. You wonder why you suffer so much. You wonder why you've gone through all the pain and this trauma that you've gone through in this fucking life. Because you caused that same fucking pain and trauma in somebody else's life. And now you got to sit in that shit. And you got to heal and understand the pain and the suffering that you've inflicted on others. How dare you sit here judgmental, self-righteous, criticizing everybody else and dogging everybody else up for the same shit you done. See, we're not ready for this shit. We don't want to have this type of real, transparent, heart-to-heart, authentic conversation. Yeah, because we want to remain the fucking victim. And so God is reminding me and telling me, Elijah, the pain your daddy caused you is the pain you caused somebody else. How those dudes molested you, Elijah, when you were 6, you've done that in the past in some other lifetime. And now you got to answer for that. You got to understand the pain and the crazy shit that comes with being molested at an early age. You got to understand the pain and the hell that comes with that shit. It's easy for you to sit here and criticize these women who broke your heart. It's easy for you to sit here and judge these women as being toxic and crazy and da 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 for breaking your heart and abandoning you and rejecting you. Nah, motherfucker. You had a soul contract with them. You had an agreement with them. And you needed them to do that shit for you. You needed them to do that shit to you. Why? Because you had to pay the price for doing that shit in another lifetime. You have to learn what that pain and that trauma feels like. Remember who you are. But see, we want to just sit back and just think about all the good shit we did. We'll get past life readings and all this other stuff, and we just want to talk about, man, I was a shit. I'm a chief. I was this person. I was this great person. I was da da da. Now we want to remember all this great shit. We don't want to remember the pain and the trauma that we've inflicted on others. And truth be told, the great majority of us don't want to remember that. We don't want to talk about that stuff because it really didn't affect us. It really didn't have an impact on us. And so you're really not going to remember doing that from a deep previous lifetime. because it really didn't impact your life, not like it impacted the other people's lives. And so in this lifetime, you've caught all the hell you caught. You've gone through all the shit that you've gone through. They are your helpers. Solomon, Solomon's temple, they are your helpers. And that's why I said that, man, everything is always working out for our good. Everything. Not some things, not most things. Everything is always working out for us. So all the pain that my daddy caused me, all the pain and the hell that those guys caused me when I was molested at 6, all the pain and hell that my family caused me by rejecting me and abandoning me and verbally and physically beating me down and all that other toxic ass shit, all the pain and the hell that these women caused me by breaking my heart, lying on me, rejecting me, all the pain and the hell that I've gone through. It's really a blessing in disguise. It's a blessing in disguise because it's an opportunity for me to heal. It's an opportunity for me to grow up emotionally and spiritually. It's an opportunity for me to gain some wisdom and some understanding of the pain and the trauma and the hell that I've caused other people. See, I can never understand what that shit felt like until I myself have gone through that shit. Now that I've gone through that shit, it's like, oh shit. I bet you I won't ever do that shit again. You know what I mean? Oh shit. Damn. Now I'm filled with compassion. Now I'm filled with love. Now I'm filled with mercy. Why? Because I understand the pain and the hell. See, it was the pain, it was the hell, the rejection, the abandonment, the lies, the deceit. It was all that negative, toxic shit that's helped me become so fucking loving. It was all the pain, all the bullshit that's helped me grow and remember that I'm a beacon of love, that I am love. It was the pain and the trauma that's helped me remember and evolve. Again, everything is always working out for us. All of that negative, toxic bullshit is only negative, toxic bullshit because our perspective of it. You got to catch that. And your perspective is negative. And your perspective is you see it as negative and toxic and blah, 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 because you haven't healed and grew to understand, man, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. That's all good. What they meant for evil is worked out for my good. What they meant to crush me and da 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 is worked for my benefit. And not just my benefit, but for the benefit of others that I will now be a mouthpiece to. You got to catch that because of the pain and the hell. You guys have never met my father. You've never met the guys that committed that molested me. You never met the women that broke my heart and da 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 da. But because of the pain that they brought, you feel my love. Many of you have had coaching sessions with me, and you're able to see and hear the wisdom. But that wisdom, that love, that compassion, that mercy comes from that pain and that trauma and that bullshit. You gotta catch that. You got to catch that. That's why the Bible says, and again, I'm not a Christian at all, but that's why the Bible says Jesus, Joshua, whatever you want to call him, learned obedience through the things he suffered. He learned obedience. He learned to get outside of, man, not my will, but thy will be done. We got to catch this. We got to understand this. Remember who you are and understand that's all the quote unquote bad things that we didn't want to happen. It's all the quote unquote bad things that's quote unquote fucked us up. It's all the quote unquote bad things that we thought derailed us. It's all the quote unquote bad things we thought had us twisted. And the truth is, it's all of those things that makes you who you are. Catch that. And so you stop looking at other people doing bad shit. You stop looking at them as being bad people. I stopped seeing my father as somebody that I want to fucking kill. I stopped seeing my father as somebody that I fucking hate. And I grew to understand, man, thank you. Thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you causing me all this fucking pain and suffering. I appreciate you telling me that I wasn't shit. I appreciate you making me feel like I was just nothing. You know what I mean? I appreciate you making me feel like I didn't fit in and that I wasn't good enough and that I wouldn't amount to shit. I appreciate the rejections and all that shit. I appreciate that now. I value that now because I see you as my helper. I see you, regardless of whether that was your intent, whether you remember that was your intent. Because again, we don't remember who we are. We don't remember the context that we have. And that's part of the journey. And regardless of what other people do with their life, their interaction with me was for my best interest. I wouldn't have the love that I have. I wouldn't have the wisdom and the knowledge that I have. I wouldn't have the compassion that I have. I wouldn't be so loving and nurturing if I hadn't gone through all that bullshit. If I hadn't suffered the way I did. And so now, because I've suffered so much, because I've been willing to sit there and understand the purpose of the suffering. And the purpose wasn't just to see how many motherfuckers I can't fucking trust. It's to see how many motherfuckers abandon me, dog me the fuck out, and I'm a lone wolf and I don't give a fuck about nobody. That's all toxic, unhealed shit. That shows how much we haven't healed. That shows how much we still got to grow up emotionally, spiritually. And so because of our pain and our trauma, because of our experiences. We can now lift up our hands to the world and say, I don't give a fuck what you say about me. I don't give a fuck what you think about me. I know who I am. I'm not on some low vibrating bullshit because of the pain and the hell that I've gone through, because of the pain and hell I've gone through, because of the work that I've done to understand it and to heal it and release it. It elevates the spiritually. You got to understand that. We got to understand that. I love gardening. And one of the lessons that God had to show me through gardening, you look at a tree, and I don't care how big that tree is, whether it's a redwood, whether it's a sequoia tree, it don't matter the name of the tree, no matter how big that tree is, it didn't start out big like that. It was a tiny ass fucking seed put in the ground, buried, dirt thrown all over it, shit thrown over it, in order for it to die, in order for it to crack open, in order for its roots to start growing. It did all of that before it first sprouted through the ground. And what God was showing me about that was, Elijah, as a human being, you're a seed. Elijah, you were that seed that the people rejected, that the people threw away. Elijah, you were that seed that people smashed in the dirt. You were that seed that people fumbled. You were that seed that people threw shit on. And look at what it's done for you. All that manure, all that shit, all that dirty ass water. It's helped you. You were in the pits of the ground, in the darkness, where nobody could see you. And look at how you've grown. Look at how you're growing. But you didn't start off this way. You started out as a seed. And it doesn't matter whether you were intentionally planted there or whether the wind blew you and you landed there, or whether somebody had a bunch of seeds in their hand and you fell out, you were planted and you blossomed. You grew into this mighty giant tree. See, we don't want to go through the mud. We don't want to go through the process of being buried. We don't want to go through the process of people throwing dirt on us. We don't want to go through the process of people throwing shit on us. We don't want to go through the process of people throwing dirty ass fucking water on us. Again, everything is always working out for our good. the dirt that they threw me on or threw on me, the hole that they buried me in, the shit that they kept piling on and piling on, the dirty ass water that they kept throwing. It was all for my benefit. It was all for your benefit to help you grow into this tree that's brought forth fruit. Now you're a tree, you're fully grown, and you cast out shade. You're a place for birds to come and call home. You produce fruit, but you didn't start out like that. You started out being buried. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. Remember, everything is always working out for you. Everything. And close it with this little story. Somebody told me that there's a story where a man's donkey fell in a ditch, and they couldn't get the donkey out the ditch. Tried everything they could, but they couldn't get the donkey out. So the farmer and everybody's like, man, fuck it. Let's just bury it. It's gonna die. Let's just bury it. And so they all came with shovels and they began to just throw dirt into the hole. What they didn't know, they thought they were burying the donkey. But what the donkey was doing, as the dirt was coming, he would just shake it off and step up, shake it off and step up. Every time they threw dirt and landed on his head and landed on his back, see, we get so fixated these motherfuckers trying to kill me. These motherfuckers just throwing dirt all on me. And why they gotta do me like this? And they just throwing all this fucking dirt in my hair. They're throwing all this fucking dirt on my back and all this negative toxic ass shit. Because our perspective is fucked. So they kept throwing dirt. He would just shake it off. And the dirt would fall to the ground. And he would just step up to the point where they saw the ears of the donkey. And like, how the fuck? And so they'll walk over and some are still throwing dirt. And they're watching what the donkey is doing. They're watching a donkey have all this dirt thrown in his face and in his hair and his back, and he would just shake it off and just kept shaking it off. And then he would step up, shake it off. And he would just take it and take it and take it and just shake it off, and step up until he's able to get up off the hole. It don't matter whether they're trying to bury you. It don't matter whether they forgot about you. It don't matter whether they're trying to kill you and destroy you. You got to learn to shake that shit off and keep rising, just like that donkey. Everything is always working out for our good. The people thought that they were burying the donkey. The donkey shook it off and stepped up and came up off that fucking hole. The truth is, so many of us are in a hole of blackness, of despair, of depression, of anger, of confusion, because we don't understand why we're going through all the bullshit we're going through. We don't understand why we've gone through all the bullshit we've gone through. We're so loving and compassionate, and people don't give a fuck, and they're trying to kill us. People don't give a fuck. They're trying to bury us. It is what it is. Shake it off and step up. Shake it off and keep rising. You got to deal with the bullshit. You got to be willing to forgive people. And it makes it a whole lot easier to forgive them when you really understand what's taking place. When you understand that we had soul contracts. When you understand, man, this is going to help me. I may not understand how this is going to help me now. There's no way in the world I could understand as a 2-year old kid watching my daddy stab my mama 49 times. I had no clue how that shit was going to help me. I had no fucking clue what the fuck I was supposed to learn from that. I had no fucking clue what I was supposed to learn from being molested by those quote unquote Christian guys at the age of 6. I had no understanding how that was going to help me in any way, shape, or form. I had no understanding how being raised in that toxic ass family where they're constantly telling me I was stupid and I was dumb and I was going to be in prison the rest of my life or I die at an early age and all this stupid shit about me having the devil in me and damn to hell and all this talk shit. I had no understanding how all that bullshit was helping me, how that bullshit was going to help me. There was no way for me to fathom that at that age. There was no way for me to understand how all these women breaking my hearts, abandoning me and rejecting me and lying, all this stupid shit. I had no way of understanding at that time how that was going to work out for my good. What I was supposed to learn from that, how that was going to benefit me. But I sit before you as a 55-year-old man, living my best life, full of peace and joy and happiness. Man, it's all good. It's all fucking good. I appreciate it all. And I tell people all the time, people are like, you're stupid, you're dumb. If I could go through this shit all over again, if God told me, man, we're going to have to do it again, you got to come back here and go through everything that you went through, watching your mother screaming and crying, being stabbed by your daddy, you going into that family and being beat down physically and emotionally. You've been sexually molested by those Christian guys. You having these women lie and you and deceive you and break your hearts and that. You got to go through all that shit all over again. If I had to go through it all over again, I would. I would because I understand it's all good. It's all good. It's all worked out for me. It's all working out for me, just like it is for you. But you got to be willing to face some shit. You got to be willing to want to let go of your anger. You got to be willing to want to let go of your judgment, of your hatred, of your bitterness. And the truth is, A lot of us don't want to let that go because we think that makes us strong, that makes us tough. And it is what it is. We have to grow up emotionally. Man, thank you guys for rocking out with me. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I value your time and your energy. My hope and prayer for each and every one of you is that you have a real heart to heart conversation with yourself about the shit you've gone through and begin to grow through it. That's the difference. Everybody goes through something. Everybody doesn't grow through it though. We gotta grow through what we go through. Man, I love you guys. Namaste. The God in me, the light in me, the love in me, the wisdom in me sees, recognizes, acknowledges, and cherishes the God, the love, the light, the wisdom within each and every one of you. Happy, healthy family. Peace.